receiver to top 1,000 yards in that span. And Dak Prescott says it all started with a good, healthy conversation between Lamb and Mike McCarthy back in October, when Lamb reportedly told his head coach, "I'm not trying to be annoying or a diva, but I can do more." McCarthy says anytime your feature player can play inside and outside, they're going to get opportunities. And Lamb has been a slot machine jackpot for Dallas. His 796 yards when he moves inside are almost 200 more than any other receiver. And tonight, Lamb could make Cowboys history with 3 catches. He would set the franchise record for most receptions in a single season. And 76 receiving yards would put him on a very short list with Michael Irvin as the only 2 Cowboys ever to reach 1,500 receiving yards in a season. Joe?
Yeah, Lisa, no doubt. It means a lot to wear that uniform for this franchise, and there they are. 2 men who were friends and teammates in the 60s and Super Bowl champions with the Dallas Cowboys. It'll be an emotional halftime, but the first half comes your way next. First time in 30 years, the Lions are division champions.
And the Cowboys' quest for the NFC East continues tonight.
Where's that gun going? They're trying to take something from you.
Clashes, blitzes, all action. Run past photo finish, work no caption. Mono, be mono, so what's happening? Let's get it cracking. I'm in the trenches, stomping the yard. I came, I seen, I start, I rain, I ball hard. Hit it.
Highlight reel, touchdown, waiting for the end zone on a run. He got it. It's an honor to follow that week in and week out, whether it's on a Monday night or live on a Saturday. We are in Arlington, Texas, where the Cowboys have not lost this season, and they have just shredded the opposition on their home turf. Mike McCarthy has taken his team to the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. They've stamped their ticket right now, the number 5 seed in season number 4. And in season number 3, what a turnaround it's been for the Lions under that man who grew up in Texas, Dan Campbell, about as authentic a head coach as there is in the NFL. Mike Parsons getting set to go. We'll see him early. Dallas won the toss. They defer, so the Lions have it to start the night. That is touchback number 91 for Brandon Aubrey. An NFL record as he continues to add to it. They're the numbers this season for Jared Goff. He's coming off 2 real good games. He's got 27 touchdowns, 10 picks. We take a look at our starting lineup, brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. We'll give you the rest of the names and numbers for the Lions, who check in at 11-4. And there was contact, no flag, and incomplete for Josh Reynolds. Stephon Gilmore out there defending. And in a blink, it's 3rd down and 10. I've talked too much. So Troy, there's Dan Quinn, and here is the Dallas defense.
Well, when you play against this Dallas defense, you know as a quarterback you've got to get the ball out quick when you're throwing it, because their pass rush is so dominant. That's not lost on this secondary either. We saw Stephon Gilmore there on second down. He jumped it. Those guys play aggressive. We know what kind of year Deron Bland has had with the interceptions that he's come down with this year, but it is a physical group.
3rd down and 10, and that's Raymond for a first down. Good throw and catch. Khalif Raymond, catch number 33 on the year. They needed 10, got 11, and a strong throw from Jared Goff.
Well, good concept to that side of the field. They run 2 slants, essentially. You're going to see Jordan Lewis, number 2. He's playing soft coverage, however. And so Khalif Raymond, he's able to get right in there in that sweet spot, and Jared Goff hits him. So that's a nice 3rd down conversion to start this game.
They fake the handoff. Goff has got St. Brown. And Amon-Ra is down out of bounds near the 40. And he started catch and run.
Well, this is what the Detroit Lions do so well. The play action game in the backfield, and then you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. He gets Deron Bland turned around a little bit, and he's capable of doing that with the speed that he has. But these inside breaking routes, that is where Jared Goff really excels throwing the football.
Catch number 107 on the year for St. Brown. Pro Bowler from a year ago. Montgomery gets it, has a little bit of space, and takes it inside the 35 for 7.
Well, you mentioned this offensive line, Joe. They are one of the best in football, and there's really not a weakness on that group. They are solid. In fact, you could argue that Frank Ragnow, their center, and the right tackle, Penei Sewell, are playing as well as anybody at their respective positions. So if they can lean on that, protect Jared Goff, get the running game going a little bit, they can certainly do some good things.
Here's Montgomery again. Ran into an offensive lineman and ends up with no gain as Micah Parsons makes his first tackle of the night. 3rd down and short coming up for the Lions.
Well, you talk about Micah Parsons and all that he's able to do as a pass rusher. He's just as effective in the run game. He is a tough player, and they're going to move him around a lot tonight. He's going to be playing off ball there in the middle quite a bit. That's where he's showing right now.
And a timeout taken by the Cowboys on defense before a 3rd down and 3.
Charge timeout. Dallas, they're first. It will be 30 seconds.
This defense has had a tough time defending the run. 2 weeks ago, it was about as bad as it can get. 266 rush yards allowed at Buffalo. And that man, Dan Quinn, told us they're going to go with bigger guys up front. Micah Parsons as an off-the-ball linebacker trying to slow down the Lions' ground game.
Yeah, it helps in the run game. They get a little bigger because that's where they've been hurt at times, especially when they get Marquise Bell, who's a converted safety, who's 215 pounds. They get bigger in the middle, anticipate that Detroit is wanting to run the football, but also on these 3rd downs, that if there is any vulnerability in this offensive line, it's in the middle at the guard position, but they're still pretty stout across the board.
They do hand to Montgomery, and he picks it up. Good patience by David Montgomery. He hesitated, let that hole open up, and gets 11 on 3rd and 3.
Yeah, typically when you have to stop like Montgomery did it in the hole, it's hard then to pick up this yardage. But you're going to see Jonah Jackson. He's the one who's able to get on Damone Clark, and he's essentially the one that allows him then to pick up the 1st down. So a couple conversions now on this opening drive going as well as you could hope for the Detroit Lions.
Jahmyr Gibbs in the lineup for the first time tonight. And he does a lot of this. It's off his hands. It was a forward pass, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
You know, the Lions, they do tip their hand a little bit depending on who the back is that's in the game. And now they go with Montgomery, and they bring Jahmyr Gibbs off the field. But when Montgomery's in the game on passing downs, generally he's going to stay in and block and then work his way out. Whereas Jahmyr Gibbs, he is more of a receiving threat, and he oftentimes free releases out of the backfield.
Goff, quick throw, and that was batted down by Jaron Kearse. 6'4", 227. And he got up and easily knocked that to the ground, 3rd and 10.
Well, and it's a good thing he did, too, because they split out Sam Laporta, their rookie tight end, and he had a chance to catch it and run. So Jaron Kearse, number one, he goes up and bats that ball down. Otherwise, the Lions probably looking at a new set of downs.
Here's Gibbs. Long way to go. Looked like the knee went down and a flag flies late. Jonah Jackson was out there, the left guard, and the call is against Detroit with a block in the back. That's Brad Allen, our referee. Gets to work on a Saturday so he can just cut it loose on New Year's Eve. Looked like the knee was down, but then that block in the back. And we'll see what the Cowboys want to do with it.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 73. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
So they will mark the ball at the 23. That's where Gibbs' knee went down. And that means we're looking at roughly a 41-yard field goal try by Badgley coming up.
Yeah, there was the push by Jonah Jackson. There wasn't a lot there. It looked like he was kind of going to the ground, but you know, they could have forced the Cowboys back, been 3rd and 20, and you know, maybe they're able to make a stop and force a longer field goal. They decline.
Not a good snap, but a good hold by Jack Fox. Are trailing by 3. Fox kicks it away into the end zone, and Dak and company will start at the 25. When you watch tape, sir, what do you see from Dak Prescott, who leads the NFL in touchdown passes this season?
Yeah, I see a quarterback that's playing with a great deal of confidence. He is seeing the field as well as anybody, and you know, since they started pushing the ball down the field, he's been really effective. Of course, CeeDee Lamb has been a big part of that, but they definitely opened things up following their bye week, their week 7.
Over the middle, that's Ferguson, the tight end, who gets wrestled to the ground by Anzalone with a gain of 7. And we'll be talking a lot about tonight about Jake Ferguson and what he means to the offense for Mike McCarthy, who is back to calling plays as he used to do in Green Bay. He has hit his stride in this secondary that at times has been a little sketchy for Aaron Glenn.
Well, it'll be important for this defensive front to get to the quarterback, because it's not a good matchup for Detroit. You know, they've been having a revolving door opposite of Cam Sutton.
3rd down and 4, and that's catch number 1 for Lamb. Makes a move after going around Sutton, and he's still rumbling down inside the 40.
Well, this was a problem last week for the Detroit Lions defensively. They've given up a lot of big plays in the passing game. This one was a 1st down, but Cam Sutton, he's not able to make a tackle. He missed some tackles last week, and what should have been a 5-yard completion turns into a big gain
of 31 yards after allowing 11 pass plays of 20+ at Minnesota last week in that win. Prescott in trouble, and he finds his tight end, the rookie Schoonmaker, actually Hendershot, and a gain of 6, pressure by Derek Barnes, and it's 2nd down. Those tight ends have become really important, led by Jake Ferguson. They've got Hendershot and Schoonmaker, 3 Big Ten tight ends for Dak Prescott.
Well, and Jake Ferguson, that's his guy. I mean, when you watch him, you know, it's CeeDee Lamb and it's Jake Ferguson, and oftentimes when he really needs a completion, his first look is to Jake Ferguson.
On 2nd down and 4, good protection. Cooks overthrown. And it's 3rd down and 4.
Well, they go right at him. I talked about the corner opposite of Cam Sutton. Tonight, it's Kendall Vildor who gets the start. And you're going to see they immediately run Brandon Cooks right up the seam, and that's where they've been really effective in some of their big plays. here over the second half of this season. They move CeeDee Lamb around a lot. He's in the slot right now. And as Lisa Salters talked about in her report pregame, he's been on a tear when he's been in the middle.
On third down, Prescott trying to come underneath. And he's picked. Intercepted by Melifonwu. The early takeaway by the Lions on defense. And back-to-back games with an interception for Ife Melifonwu. His first 31 games. He's the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And now he's got picks in back-to-back games. Lions had 4 interceptions last week and 1 early here tonight. As they hand to Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, forward progress to the 45. That's it. Back to the interception.
Yeah, you take a look at it, and Melifonwu, he is in a 2-deep look. And so they're going to allow the middle to be taken on the outside, but he comes up, and he has CeeDee Lamb initially, Dak Prescott does, but because of the pressure back in the pocket, he's running around, and he's a little late on the throw, and Melifonwu sees it the entire time. This is an offense for Dallas that simply does not turn the ball over. They came in with just 13 turnovers in this ball coming into this game, best in the NFL.
Here is St. Brown with good blocking and a first down. 14-yard catch and run on a well set up play for the Lions, and another first down for Detroit. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, his name means the God of sun and air, and through the air this guy has been phenomenal.
Well, he's had a great year this season, and he's especially hot here over the last couple of weeks. 100-yard games each of the last 2 games, and he's explosive once he gets the ball.
Here is a little end around for Williams, and he gets dumped by Jordan Lewis, a gain of 6. As they try to use the speed, which is off the charts for Jamison Williams. A nice pickup on first down.
Well, that's a great play by Jordan Lewis, because there's a lot of people out in front that are leading the way. And Jordan Lewis, this is where he really excels. He's able to get off the block and come up and make a play. He made a lot of plays last week in that game against Miami. You can see him right here, number 2, the way he comes up, because if he doesn't make that tackle, there's a chance Jamison Williams scores.
Already the 4th tackle of the game for Jordan Lewis. 2nd and 4. Gibbs, Parsons. Micah Parsons gets through in a loss of 4. Cowboys needed that.
Well, Michael Parsons is, I mean, he's got cap. You're going to see the twist. And Dorrance Armstrong, he comes right up the gut, and they're in man coverage there in the secondary, and just nowhere really to go with the football. As much as you don't want Jared Goff to take the sack, knock themselves out of field goal range, it really was not much he could do about it.
Fox kicks it end over end. Turpin with a fair catch.
Pollard thinks he's going to traverse field and come back the other way, and Vildor right there to meet him. Tony Pollard, 2 carries and -5 yards. He's not had anywhere to run so far.
Cowboys have thrown it 5 times, run it twice. Here's throw number 6, and incomplete on a ball that was laid out for Jake Ferguson. Knocked away with a combination of Campbell and Joseph.
Well, that's such a great job by Kirby Joseph coming over, and the reason he was able to, he's disguising the look, and as he's working to the middle of the field, he never quite gets all the way to the middle, number 31, and he's able to then come all the way back, because this ball was thrown perfectly by Dak Prescott. That's laid out there, and Jake Ferguson, he's going to make that play if Kirby Joseph doesn't come over and break it up.
Now 3rd down and 13. Blitz coming. Prescott able to get out of the end zone. And now airs it out for Lamb. He's got it. He's gone. When he gets there, it's a touchdown Cowboys. On top. Derek Barnes was coming on a blitz. Prescott able to get out of his own end zone. And with that catch, CeeDee Lamb ties the franchise record with 111 catches in this single 2023 season. And there are catches. And then in week 17, there are 9. Well, you take a look at this play. This counts as a big play. And when we show you another replay, Troy, Derek Barnes had a shot at a safety.
It was a perfect call by Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator. He rushes 6, and Derek Barnes has a free run at Dak Prescott. You're going to see him number 55. I'm not even sure what this is. I mean, you get more in a flag football game than what we just saw there from Derek Barnes, but he calls the perfect play, gets a free rusher. He's got Prescott in the end zone for a sack. And he just runs right by him and gives him a little shoulder. And then Kendall Bildor is out there trying to cover CeeDee Lamb. And essentially, Prescott sees he's one-on-one and just gives him a shot. I mean, the ball's in the air now, and CeeDee Lamb goes and gets it.
92 yards is the longest pass play for a touchdown in the NFL this season. And it's the second longest pass touchdown in Cowboys history, put together by Don Meredith and Bob Hayes. 95 yards in 1966 at Washington. Two guys who were in the Cowboys Ring of Honor. Meanwhile, a player is down, and that's safety Tracy Walker, who was part of that kick return. And he is flat on his back as they look at him.
Well, you think about the 2 catches that CeeDee Lamb has. He's got 2 receptions, 123 yards. And the first one, he made Cam Sutton miss on what should have been a 5-yard reception. And then this last play that he gets a 92-yard touchdown out of, Derek Barnes, you know, I can't even imagine what Aaron Glenn is thinking down there on the sidelines right now with what he dialed up and then unable to execute.
And all Barnes can do is shake his head. Dan Campbell, the head coach, and we'll get into what he's been able to do in his 3 years as the head man with the Lions, is over there talking to his linebackers. But that was a missed chance, basically a 9-point swing on one play. Here is a handoff to Montgomery, and David Montgomery picks up 5.
Well, we knew coming into the game that the formula really for Detroit is controlling the ball, running the ball, converting on 3rd downs, and then the defense has to do their part. And by doing their part, that means you can't give up the big plays. And they've already given up too many in this game, and they got to keep everything in front of them. And playing from behind is the recipe for disaster against this Cowboys front.
Lions are going to give those 5 yards back.
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So Graham Glasgow, who has had reps at center, he's made starts at center this season. Frank Ragnow, their 6-year pro from Arkansas, is all kinds of banged up but answers the bell pretty much every week.
And if you want to throw the ball, now's a good time because Micah Parsons is not on the field, so you at least have a fighting chance.